So right now we have three stories that are very joined together, and basically it is an attack on an individual person's right to privacy. So currently, the owner of the No-KYC exchange BTC-e extradited to the US. After more than 5 years of litigation, Russian national Alexander Vinnik was extradited from Greece yesterday. He currently runs, like I said, the exchange BTC-e, and it is an exchange that was not requiring KYC. I believe it remains to be seen, but basically, this was not available to U.S. citizens because obviously the U.S. has some of the strictest financial regulations requiring KYC and AML laws to be enacted for it. He's operating an exchange that was abroad, but the claws of the United States government want to make sure that they have the world KYC'd, and they want the power and the control when it comes to money in general. So that it's sad to see that this is the case. I didn't know Alexander Vinnik at all, but it seems like an attack on our individual right to privacy. So I guess, P, do you want to hit us up with the next story as well?
Obviously. It pains me greatly to mention the name of the shitcoin from which all their shitcoins are born into the world. But the US Treasury has sanctioned Tornado Cash, which, as I understand it, is it's an Ethereum-based equivalent of Whirlpool, or CoinJoin implementation, so to speak. And though I'm sure it's literally just like people in little white uniforms, like manually moving Ethereum transactions behind the scenes, even though it's presented as a super effective system. Regardless, the US Treasury announced this morning that it has sanctioned the use of the non-custodial Ethereum mixer through the blacklisting of various addresses. The conclusion here is, even if you just hold Bitcoin and you are using mixing services that are much more privacy focused and effective, like Samurai Whirlpool, you need to pay attention to this because, Ethereum is already broken. It is easier for them to potentially sanction these types of things. But this is just the beginning of the war on privacy that we're going to see in the near future. So Tornado Cash is, as I understand it, pretty big. And so they're going after this first, but be ready and educate yourself on how to maintain your right to privacy, and specifically your right to financial privacy, because the idea that if you don't have anything to hide, you shouldn't be worried is absolute horseshit, as I hope you all understand at this point, right? It's not about whether or not you are a criminal. That frame, the idea that only criminals need privacy, is something that they spoon feed as many people as they can so that they will accept Orwellian surveillance systems, because once you are being surveilled effectively, then they get to decide who is a bad person and who is not. And as soon as you rise above a certain threshold, once they have that metadata, once they have that information about you, they use it against you. As we saw with the Canadian truckers, it becomes, they will basically just change the rules in real time in order to suit their own needs. Do not put yourself in a position, or allow yourself to be put in a position where you are susceptible to that kind of attack.
Yeah, and it's not even just they will change the rules. They will retroactively change the rules. Like, it was not illegal to donate, and then it's like they went retroactively to attack people, which is crazy when you really think about how the judicial system works. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if we've ever had a law where it's changed and then now we're retroactively going after people before. Maybe it has occurred, but this is at least the biggest one in most recent memory.
I'm trying.
You got the next story. Hit us with it.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of a lot. But the story is more like to build off of these two. This is an older story from about a month ago, near and dear to my heart, as many of you would probably assume. Binance got in a lot of hot water about a month ago because it was found that they were still servicing clients out of Iran. Iran, for anyone who doesn't realize it, for whatever reason, is back under sanctions as of 2018. I just think it's really interesting that these people people out of Iran have been using Binance for the better part of 4 years, while technically illegal. And only when Binance started releasing statements saying we comply fully with the US sanctions in regards to the sanctions that were then put on Russia, only to have this come up. So let it be known, does not matter who you are, what you like to do. If the US doesn't like you, they're going to come for you in any way, shape, or form.